Hi guys, I hope your week went okay, and I hope you didn't clog up the Black Lives Matter hashtag with unnecessary and meaningless black squares. I didn't really want to make a Jackie's Corner this week, not gonna lie, but I saw a lot of social media posts made by certain film institutions declaring their support for this movement right now. Support that I believe, and I think a lot of you believe, is quite disingenuous. So instead of those posts cluttering up your timeline, I figured maybe it would be good to take this time to highlight someone whose filmmaking is actually synonymous with the empowerment and championing of Black creatives, particularly young Black creatives. So that's exactly what I'm about to do. While building up her skills working on union sets as an assistant director, she's written and directed indie films on the Black experience that has captured the attention of many inside and outside of it. Films like Haven, a short that premiered at South by Southwest in 2018 and was nominated for Best Narrative Short at the festival. She's a pillar in the Black filmmaking community here in Toronto, directing so many emerging Black talents' work, which recently culminated in her winning ByBlacks.com's People's Choice Award for Best Filmmaker in 2019. A self-described impact filmmaker, she understands and employs storytelling's ability to provoke change, making ripples in every space that she finds herself in. Here she is, Miss Kelly Fyffe-Marshall. Kelly Fyffe-Marshall, the one, the only. You have two short films that are out / we're going to do the festival rounds before all of what's happening right now started happening, Black Bodies and Marathon. You created these films in response to a recent incident that you experienced. If you're comfortable, can you talk a bit about that incident and how it actually led to your collective right to be right?
I legally can't speak on it, but it is available for the public to Google. Out of that viral incident, we birthed a campaign and an organization, if you will, called We Have the Right to Be Right. It's a collective of it started with artists, but has grown to much more. And it's just us using our outlets to create space for the conversation that racial inequity is happening worldwide, and we need to speak on how we can create social justice. And I do that through film. There's a visual artist who does it through painting, a poet, a DJ who does it through playing music. And so we all come together and travel through the world and through spaces that deal with these issues and speak on these issues and see how we can create change just by giving people emotional intelligence, what is really happening, and showing them what we go through, and therefore changing their perspectives.
All these recent murders at the hand of police taking place specifically during quarantine, activism on social media has been at an all-time high. I've noticed that a lot of non-Black people within our industry are feeling this pressure online to speak on what's happening publicly and voice their support for the protests, fearing that if they don't, they may be punished online for it. Given the type of films that you make and your identity as a Black woman director, I'm sure you've noticed this phenomenon on your feed a lot. I'm wondering how you personally navigate disingenuous support within the industry.
I have like a two-prong approach. I don't take words. Action is what I take. Don't DM me about your support, because you DMing me is a very cowardly thing, and if you're not going to take the same stance that I take, don't congratulate me for it. I'm glad that now you're waking up, but now that you're awake, let's get to work. It's really just making sure that there's action there. And that goes to my second prong, make ripples where you are. When you stand where you stand, who are you, and do you reflect the things that you're saying? And then when you feel like you reflect and you are growing and learning to not be racist and to create safe spaces for Black and Indigenous folks, what are you then doing for your friends? So there's problems that I've had within my circles, and I've called people out. We don't have to be friends. That's fine, because I don't want to be associated with somebody who doesn't make the world a better place. Now that you've dealt with your friends and your family, then you step out. What does your community look like? What does your community of peers look like? What do your neighbors look like? And when you go to work, what does that look like, and how can you make change? Send an email to your boss. CC every executive. Hi, you know what, during this social climate, I want to know how we're making this place more inclusive and better for Black folks. I've for so long in this industry been the diversity hire. I took 2 boxes. That's Black and female, but I also took 2 other boxes that they don't know about. And that's being loud and not taking shit. And so you can hire me for the first 2 boxes, but the other 2 boxes come with it. A lot of people get super upset and they're like, oh, I was hired because I was Black. Great. Get in that room, turn around, and let everybody else come in with you.
What would you say to people who may be marginalized because of whatever identities they may hold, but don't necessarily feel like this call to action of engaging what's happening online, as well as, like you said, making ripples wherever you are, and more so feel like the onus should be falling on the oppressors in whatever context they may be working in?
I think that if it's something that you've been dealing with for a long time, take your time. Just because they're ready doesn't mean that you're ready to now engage. It's this time to look out online and not see all of this engagement and this performative anger, but look out and see, wow, look at how many people I have in a community that will support me when I'm ready.
I'm curious to know some of the specific ways in which individuals and institutions within our industry are making it difficult for you to make the projects that you intend on making.
One of the big things that is I can't speak for anywhere but Canada, but is a big thing in Canada, is like now that it's, I guess, cool or mandated to hire one diverse person, doesn't make a space diverse. Like, you can't put out a call for filmmakers to come and have one Black person. There's no community there, and they're gonna feel othered, and then it's gonna put them in a situation where they don't feel like their voice is heard. What you need to do is create safe spaces and communities where you hire more than one Black person, more than one POC person, more than one LGBTQ, more than one person with a disability. I think when it comes to like getting projects funded, it's really difficult to write a story from our perspective and then give it to someone who doesn't understand that perspective and then want to give us money. So they're always going to be forever questioning, like, that's not real, that's not right, especially if they do have a racial bias or are racist.
Well, to end it on somewhat of a nice note, if we can, I wanted to know if there are any specific movies or TV shows that you're watching that represent Black joy the way that it should be represented.
Oh, really good question. Oh, The Weekend by Stella McGee is really, 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 really funny. And Stella McGee is Canadian. Insecure has really been holding me down. Really, like, just the way Black skin is lit makes me feel like I could watch it on mute and be happy.
Lawrence Hive or Nathan Hive?
Lawrence Hive.
Well, thank you so much, Kelly. Hopefully we'll see each other soon, physically, maybe on a set.
Yes. I really thank you for this and also using your platform to create some kind of change and let people know all the things. This is important, and this is what everyone needs to do. This is a great example of making ripples where you are.
Yes! I'm gonna put that on my resume. Thank you, Kelly, for taking the time to talk to me this week. Like Kelly, I urge you to make ripples wherever you are and however you can, especially with the film industry. Create, fund, and watch projects that tell stories about us so that our humanity can no longer be denied. And hire us, especially emerging filmmakers like myself who have been struggling to find work for ourselves in this pandemic. We need a seat at the table now more than ever.